Hey guys, there is a funny setting. I'm sitting outside and recording on the on the computer, but I just felt a little inspired and wanted to share a few things I've learned from today and the past few days in general. And it's a nice view, sunset soon, so let's have some good conversation here. Um, One of the things I realized is such a delusion because we are either learning something wrong or learning in the wrong way, or we're just not learning because we think we know everything. Like, I think there's like the three main typical path people are kind of going in general. And so my suggestion for myself and my realization from today specifically was that we don't know what we don't know. And this is a tricky thing because we often we always obviously trying to choose the resources and trying to choose the learnings and in general trying to be better every day and just trying to learn. um, and we first of all, with often not the right resources, we often don't know where we end up with those and what where they're actually leading us. And second, we oftentimes think we know everything about something. We don't even realize we actually don't know nothing. Like, funniest thing, especially if you spend a lot of time and you've done so much work on something that's like you think perfect, either if it you know it's successful or not, but you just think it's really good, it's way better than before, and you've done a lot of improvement, and now it's like as past I don't know, months, days, weeks, it doesn't really change, it doesn't change much. You kind of get complacent or kind of get like even confused with what maybe that's not even an issue. And so it's always important to just keep sourcing your brain with more learning, with more information in general. Of course, that shouldn't be like a random information. You should have it filtered, understand what actually have given you value in the past, and kind of like rely on those sources more. But also just talk to people, talk to more people. I'd say people are the reason people can be extremely helpful, more helpful than any other source of information, is because if it's the right person, they'll share what is relevant to you, and it is a combination of different resources and different ideas. That's why surround yourself with the greatest people, and you'll get the greatest learning. Like, and then plus, it also comes from their own experience, especially if that person is experienced in what you're trying to learn as well. And plus, none of the resources, none of like things online, ChatGPT or Google will never give you a suggestion such as like, "Oh, learn this. Like, this is gonna be helpful," or um, any like mental related learnings, because that's what we often struggle with. We don't realize what we don't know. So I think those are pretty important learnings as well, and pretty important to take them from other people in general. So that's what I realized. And me personally, and I think both learning and knowledge comes from there's practical knowledge, and there's obviously just like common knowledge you get from school, get from books, etc. And I would say you need both. Funny enough, you need both. I always was a fan of like practical knowledge, actually doing, like, getting my hands dirty, actually doing something, failing and then learning from it, etc. Funny enough, you I think oftentimes you learn faster. You know, you have more ideas to test something differently and to do something differently when you also have just like a knowledge from the books, because that's just another perspective. That's like an expert perspective, expert idea on the topic, which is almost proven, or basically it's proven, especially if it's a credible author or credible, yeah, resource, and you just can implement it, and it's going to be super helpful. And even if it's something you knew already, there might be some examples which you didn't realize. So the sort of an angle you've kind of thought about it before, you didn't think about it, or you didn't think about it the new way now. And I personally try to spend at least like 20-30 minutes of my morning on getting some practical experience. Like, if it's e-commerce specifically, I always, every day, I'm going through the ads of the big brands and looking at what they do and with their funnels and their website, etc. Helps a lot. But at the same time, if nobody would tell me what exactly the frameworks they use and how exactly they implement them, which I learned from books and I learned from other resources, I wouldn't even know what I'm actually looking at. And so I do that as well in the evenings. Like I usually just either read a book, or best thing you can do is you can actually ask ChatGPT to just combine like a summaries of a 10 top 10 or like 5 or so, however many books you really want to read or learn from, and you don't have to read them, but you can just ask ChatGPT to make summaries and make and turn those summaries into the exercises for you to do. Basically, if it's like a book about advertising, and there's like take like breakthrough advertising, the really famous and great book about running ads and about advertising marketing in general. You can ChatGPT turn it for me into exercise, and now every day I learn a new principle from the book, and I'm able to implement it or like trying to apply it in my real life. Not necessarily in my business, but somehow see how that can be applied nowadays, and in general, and like how can learn from it, from actually using it or trying to use it, even as a training. So that can be a really great idea to actually get those insights and get those learnings in without reading like a long, boring book. I think it's like a modern way of learning nowadays. So that for sure. And yeah, just like meet more people in order to also understand what's going on in the market. I don't like reading news. I never really read news, but I always get something new, something interesting, some updates from the people, from also some creators online. I'm trying to be one of them, and that's also very interesting to share knowledge with those type of people, and always really helpful. So that was my insight from today, and I think that's specifically what's been stopping me, has been one of my bottlenecks is like learning and knowledge. And another suggestion here is to always invest in knowledge, like never save money on new learnings. I bought a lot of courses, not a lot of courses, I bought a good amount of courses in my life, and that's something that's moved me the most in my life. If how much money I spent, it has made the biggest changes in my life, because it's just like such a specific knowledge which I haven't really gained from anywhere else. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was helpful. Ciao.